Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chloe Lane and I am an international flight attendant for a major airline here in the Middle East. Today's video is about airline etiquette. I'm business class cabin crew, so I work in the business class cabin, but I spent 4.5 years in the economy cabin. Now this etiquette isn't necessarily for each cabin. It is general, just what I've noticed as when I'm at work or when I'm traveling as a passenger, that I feel like a lot of people don't seem to understand that when you're in an airplane, you're in a metal container with a couple hundred, okay, the two planes that I operate on, the Boeing 777-300, the Boeing 777-200, and the Airbus A380. Now, each plane holds, okay, anywhere from like 300, maybe 400 people to almost 600 people. You're not the only one in that airplane. There's hundreds of other people, and I feel like sometimes people forget it, that when they buy a ticket they feel really entitled to that seat and that airplane is their domain, even, and especially if they're like a frequent flyer or they're part of a loyalty program, they feel like they control the airplane. And that's great and all, you know, I mean, like, you pay my salary, man. Like, people who travel, you pay my salary, so I generally don't care about that. I'm very grateful for all your tickets that you purchase, because, you know, I can feed my dogs. My dogs can live a great life, and I can enjoy myself. So that's not what this is about. This is about manners. Basic manners and basic common sense, which I feel people forget when they get on an airplane. It's like you lose your common sense, or you leave it at the door, you know? It's like, here's my boarding pass, take my brain with you, kind of thing. First and foremost, why can you not smile? Like, okay, I understand, I've traveled as a passenger, I've traveled 40 hours from one destination to another, but when a flight attendant is standing there smiling, even if it's the fakest smile on the planet because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, it's the worst time to be working, but when they say, "Hi, good morning, welcome on board," the least you could do is be like, even if it's a fake smile, I appreciate it. Also, when you're sitting down, like, this is as a passenger, and you have like body parts sticking through the space between the chairs, like, no, I don't want your hair, your fingers, or your feet next to me. That's just not okay. Please keep that stuff. You have a seat, you have your area. If it's a full flight, which often it is, like, I understand that it's cramped and, you know, you want to stretch out, but go do it at the back of the airplane. Go do it in the toilet, not where someone else is sitting. I don't want your feet. I don't want to smell the odor of your toes. Please, I beg you. And another thing I see a lot is, look, maybe at your home, walking around barefoot is okay to go to the toilet. Personally, I feel like when you walk into a lavatory on board barefoot, why? Hundreds, thousands of people walk into that toilet. I've seen pee all over the floor. I've seen vomit all over the floor. I've seen plenty of gross stuff on those toilet floors. And you gonna walk in there with your bare feet? Don't do that. Don't do that. For your hygiene, please don't do that. Oh, gross, just the thought of it. Like, okay, socks is okay. At least you have some sort of, you know, barrier between floor and foot. But if you're just gonna walk in there barefoot, I mean, I get it, you're just woke up, or you're lazy, you don't want to put your shoes on. I understand the struggle is real, but is your hygiene worth that risk? Is it really? And oh yeah, so when I'm working a flight, or when my fellow colleagues and coworkers and flight attendants around the world are working flights, one thing we do not like is to be touched. So if you're trying to get our attention, personally, I would prefer you do this, as rude as it is. I would prefer you do this, or excuse me, or ma'am, or something. Excuse me, ma'am. Or hello, human, you know, do anything, but don't touch me. Don't tug my uniform. Don't tug my skirt. Don't poke me. And definitely do not come up behind me and whisper in my ear, excuse me, ma'am, because that'll scare the shit out of me. And my initial reaction is to, you know, throw an elbow around just to protect myself. So, but yeah, don't touch us. Like, human boundaries, okay? There's a personal space circle, and you just don't go through the bubble. Don't go through the bubble, okay? Oh, fair enough. While we're on this, I know that cabin crew or people in the service industry, we have our moments too, and we have rude moments. The way we speak, sometimes it's not a native English speaker, and I understand. Like, I've done both. I've seen both sides of the spectrum, so I sympathize with passengers as well, you know, because I've heard some crew, the way they speak to passengers, and I'm just like, what? How? Rude kind of thing. So I feel your pain. And there's so many things that we do as well. When I do it, I'm like, oh God, I wish I did not do that. That must have been like the bitchiest thing ever. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we have rules in place. Like, put your bags up in the hat rack. Put your shoes where they're supposed to be. If you want to take off your shoes, I don't care. Smelly socks, whatever. I'll come by with a little air freshener to spruce things up a bit. But we have, the reason cabin crew tell you to put stuff up or under the seat is for safety reasons, and we can't, you know, we can't give you leeway to that, because then we get in trouble. So there are rules that we have to follow. You might not like that, and I completely understand, but you gotta check the fine print of your ticket, because it clearly states that you gotta follow what we do when it comes to safety and security. So if you don't like it, then too bad. Your life is in our hands, and we're supposed to protect you, so sorry. Another thing that I've noticed is, why do people stand up so fast? You know, the plane stops and you stand up. You're not gonna go anywhere. We have to open the doors first, okay? We have to get the signal from the captain and from the purser to open the door, and there has to be an air bridge attached to the airplane. And then when we open the door, then we have to get the confirmation from the ground staff that y'all can get off the plane. So why does everyone stand up? It's really confusing. You're not going to get off the plane faster. Just wait until the seatbelt sign turns off. Wait until people start moving, and then stand up, get your bag, and go. It's really simple. No pushing, no shoving, no anger. Oh yeah, really drunk people. Like, free booze, yes, you paid for your ticket. Well, on my company, on our flights, yes, the booze is free when you pay for your ticket. So I get it. Drink all you can, drink all you want, but you have to remember at the same time that because the oxygen in planes 36,000 feet above ground level, you know, you'll get drunk faster, it'll hit you a lot faster, and it'll hit you a lot harder. So you will get drunk really fast, regardless of your, you know, capability to handle the said alcohol. And you want to be happy, you want to have fun, but don't be loud and don't disturb the rest of the, you know, the rest of the people. Our job, like, honestly, the minute someone starts acting loud and drunk, the entire crew go on high alert. Like, we all instantly start staring at you, we keep an eye on you, and we make sure you don't get into any trouble. So if you want the rules and regulations, handle your alcohol and keep it down, because if you want to keep getting served alcohol, have fun, but don't make a ruckus, because once you start making a ruckus, then we all get on high alert and we keep our eyes on you, and you really don't want that, because then, you know, you in trouble. And the last thing for etiquette is just like simple things like please and thank you. I understand that in some cultures, please and thank you isn't, you know, it's not a normal thing, it's not taught. Lots of people don't say please and thank you. But when I hear a please and a thank you, it makes me want to go out of my way to make your flight better. It makes someone feel good, you know, that what they're doing is appreciated. I know it's my job. My job is to make sure you're comfortable, you get from A to B safely, and my job is service. So yeah, you know, in the end, I am supposed to do what I'm doing regardless of whether you say thank you or not. But when you want something, it's always nice. Like, excuse me, ma'am, could I get this? Please, thank you, really appreciate it. You know, it's nice. It's nice to hear, and it makes the day better for us. Like, I say thank you if you do something. If you pass me some trash, I say thank you because it helps me. I don't have to reach over and, you know, grab it out of your seat or something. Or if you pass me something, could you take this for me, please? I'm more than happy to. It just makes the environment so much better, and then it makes work fun. It makes your flight fun, and yeah, it's just basic common courtesy. Also, I really want to know if you could, you know, explain this to me, is why, okay, so when someone purchases a seat, they are entitled to angle seat back. This is an economy class, okay? They're allowed to put their seat back, but I have seen numerous fights or just arguments because the person behind is sitting like this and doesn't want this person to have their seat back to sleep, so they keep fighting, and it's like, put your seat back up, put your seat back up, why can't you put your seat back up? It's like, okay, for the meal service, I personally will ask the person to straighten their seat so that the person behind their tray table can come down and they can eat in peace. However, if you're just watching a movie, most airplanes that I've worked on, the TV angles up so you can still watch your movie while this person is sleeping. But if it's for space and stuff like that, like, I understand the seats can be cramped, the space is so cramped, but you have to understand that the person paid for this and they're entitled to. So if they lean their seat back, you can lean your seat back, and domino effect, everyone can lie back, you know? And why do you need to ask the crew to tell the person to put their seat up? Why can't you just talk yourself? You're an adult, right? You pay your bills, right? You bought the ticket, right? You packed your bag, you came to the airplane, you can get up and take a shit yourself. Why is it so hard to just, excuse me, I'm really sorry to bother you, but would you mind keeping your seat up for a little bit until I do A, B, C, or D? I would really appreciate it. You know, it's not that hard. Because sometimes we look at you and we're like, but you're an adult. You can talk, right? Okay, I'll ask the person for you, but if I was the person being asked, I'd be like, you can't talk to me yourself? Okay, fine, be that way. It's kind of like childish, you know? Anyway, that was just my blubber blabber for the day, and my next video will be, I'll come up with you with a few more things, tips and tricks on how to travel better, sort of like what you should bring with you, you know, like the 10 essentials you should bring with you for a flight to make your life easier. Again, I'm not pointing pointing fingers at crew or passengers. I've seen both sides of the spectrum, and I know that life is not easy for both parts, but little manners, common courtesy, pleases and thank yous, and just, you know, behaving like an adult, a responsible, respectable adult, because in the end you are traveling, you are in company of so many people, and you're stuck in this little plane, so the easiest way is to just make your life easy, make my life easy, and we can all get along, you know? World peace, peace and love. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope I didn't complain too much, and if I did, oh well, too bad. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.